be easier just to raise all the chicks in a brooder box instead of letting the hen hatch and raise them. But sometimes those hens go broody and won't stop setting until they get themselves some cute little chicks to parade around the yard. If you have mother hens raising chicks or just chicks in with bigger chickens, that can make it harder to make sure they get enough to eat and enough of the right kind of feed to eat. Chicks often thrive better when they get special baby chick feed. If you have a problem with coccidiosis in your yard, those chicks might not survive if they don't get the medicated chick feed. But it can be expensive to feed it to the whole flock, and there might be egg withdrawal. So it's better if you have a way to feed it to just the chicks. Mother hens have a ridiculously strong instinct to start scratching to show their chicks where the food is. That can result in spilling and scattering a lot of feed. It would be nice to have a way to let the chicks run around with their mothers without the mother hens scattering their feed to the high heavens. To accomplish this, I simply have cages that chicks can fit inside, but not the older chickens. I use different kinds of wire depending on how small of chicks I want to let in. Sometimes I'll cut a slightly larger hole in the wire. The chicks learn in a hurry to go in the feeding stations to get all the feed that's just for them, and then they go back out to learn to hunt bugs with their mother. To keep the bigger chickens from sticking their heads in, I either make the feeding cages big enough and put the feed in the middle, or I put smaller mesh wire on the sides so chickens can't get their heads through. Then chicks can still enter from the ends. That way, the chicks can fill up on the special chick feed without the bigger ones getting it all. It also helps keep their mother from scattering their food to the far corners of the earth or universe. I can build these pretty cheaply using scrap lumber and wire and make several different sizes. But please note this important warning. When chicks are starting to get too big to fit through the holes, they might still make it in, but after they eat, they can't make it out. Perhaps you know the story of Winnie the Pooh when he squeezes in Rabbit's hole, eats all the honey, and then gets stuck trying to get back out? That can happen to chicks. Keep the chick feeder in a shady spot, maybe put a cover over it. So if chicks are stuck in there and there's an unexpected rain, they'll be alright. You could put a water bowl in there in case chicks get caught inside for a while. Also, check it frequently for chicks that can get in but not out. These cages can also make a goat-resistant chicken feeder. You have the pan of feed close enough to the edge the chickens can stick their heads through the mesh, but goats can't get their big heads in. 2 by 4 inch mesh seems to be about the right size, but it should be twisted wire, since goats can easily push apart welded wire. Too much feed can kill a goat. Even if it doesn't kill them outright, they could get painful bloat, the runs, or a host of other health problems. And since goats can be hyper-determined to get to the feed, I recommend not leaving a lot of feed in these, trusting the goat won't get them. If you anchor the cages down, maybe with T-post or whatever, that should prevent the goat from knocking it over to get the feed. But they might find some way to get it, so don't have a whole lot in there at once, especially not till you're sure the goat has tried and can't get in there. Most of the time, I have my goats in a separate area when I feed the chickens. But when I temporarily need to have a goat in another yard or whatever, I can still feed the chickens by putting feed in a cage, and the goats can't get much. Just try not to underestimate the goat.